I'm only using one note card for the speech on one side of it. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is John Bauer. I'm a current student here at the Missouri University of Science and Technology. I'm taking speech as a part of my degree program as a requirement, and also so along the way I can learn some valuable skills as far as when it comes to public speaking. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of my strengths and weaknesses when it comes to public speaking. Now, over the years, I have gained most of my skills through personal experience. First of all, I've been a server for about a year and a half, which requires me to speak to hundreds of people in a single day. And with those people, I have to be able to make those first impressions confidently with them and make sure that they feel that they're getting the appropriate service that they deserve. And then, second of all, I have been a leader of multiple organizations over the years. In high school, I was a leader and the president of the Missouri FBLA, which is the Future Business Leaders of America. And with that, I was required to sit down in front of a group of 60 or more and inform them and lead them on what we were going to be doing for the semester. And now even in here in college, I am the spokesperson for the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And with part of that job, I am the buffer between our organization and the public, so I can inform the public what the organization is currently doing and our whereabouts. And lastly, I've done some work with charity. Part of this was I volunteered at the Missouri Veterans Home down the road, and I sat down with veterans and I asked them about how their day was and just carried on casual conversation with them, made them feel comfortable and made them feel like someone was still there for them. And then I also did more work for the charity, going door to door, selling things like cookie dough or flowers in order to raise money and make those first impressions with those individuals in their own homes. Now, even though I've had this experience, there are still a lot of things that I struggle with. The first is going to be that I stutter, that I still struggle with from my childhood. Back when I was a kid, I had a nasty divorce that my parents went through with a custody battle, and because of that undue stress, when I was about 8 years old, I developed a very heavy stutter, and I've tried to overcome that. But even in the past years, when I find myself in stressful situations, maybe such as this speech, that some of that stutter still makes itself apparent. Now, secondly, I often overextend myself when it comes to situations. I'm too quick to volunteer in a situation, so I find myself leading a group of people when myself needs to be led because I'm not completely sure of what I'm expected of. And then lastly, I've been told by professors and teachers when I was in high school that I often do too many hand movements, and I find myself expressing myself too physically rather than verbally to get my point across. Now, even though that I have these issues, I've come up with a few plans to fix these things. Now, first off, with the stutter, just any time that I find that I want to get myself into a situation, I take a couple seconds, 60 seconds before, and just take some deep breaths and compose myself and look forward and make sure that I can control my own speaking. And second of all, before I get myself into situations and overextend myself, I can sit down with peers and the leaders of the organizations and make sure that I know specifically what's going to be expected of me. And then last of all, when it comes with my hand movements, it's more of an active thing that I'm going to be doing when I'm doing my speaking, that I can more monitor my hand movements and how I'm using them and how I can better keep them to the side and use them in conjunction with my voice to better get my speech across. Now in total, there I have some strengths, I have some weaknesses, but as long as I stick to my plans and I follow my plans to keep my hands under check and I take my deep breaths and I take time to compose myself over the years, I think that I will continue to be a great public speaker.